This Christmas, unlock a new digital world with 50% off selected smartphones from Digicel. Includes a 30-day Prime bundle to enjoy all your favorite Digicel apps. Buy the DL3 Pro for $9,750, the DL3 Pro Plus for $13,750, or Samsung A03 for $26,000. Get it for yourself or gift it to someone you love. Visit a Digicel store today. Digicel, better together this Christmas.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening. Welcome to this evening's newscast in Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Let's get to the news in detail. Come 2027, when Guyana is expected to be producing some 1 million barrels of oil per day, ExxonMobil is projecting that its total earnings on the world market would be then doubled. The announcements were made on Wednesday last when the company disclosed some of its corporate plans up to 2027, including a slashing of its overall capital expenditure from a pre-pandemic target of $35 billion annually to between $20 and $25 billion through to 2027. The plans, ExxonMobil said, position the company to double earnings and cash flow by 2027 versus 2019. It was noted that to date in 2021, the company has repaid $11 billion in debt and expects to be comfortably within the range of its targeted debt to capital ratio of 20 to 25% by year end. In other news, Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, German Figuera, said that the government's constant request for additional funding to complete major projects is a key indicator of mismanagement and possible corruption. Figuera highlighted his concerns over recent media reports where Minister of Public Works Juan Edgell said that more monies will be required to complete the Sheriff Mandela Road expansion project. He reminded that this project is being funded through the Inter-American Development Bank loan agreement that was signed by the incumbent administration in June of 2012. Some $66.2 million was granted by the International Bank to the government. He pointed out that the project is now overdue by more than 2 years and has already exceeded its initial budget. In addition to this, the chairman flagged the substandard works being produced by contractors despite receiving huge sums, as was evident in the most recent case of the Linden Road works. And moving on. If Omicron, the new variant of COVID-19, triggers more lockdowns or restrictions worldwide, Rystad Energy predicts that it could cost the global oil market as much as 2.9 million barrels per day of demand in the first quarter of 2022. This would bring total expected demand down from 98.6 million barrels per day to 95.7 million. According to the consultancy group, if the variant spreads rapidly, causing a rise in COVID cases and the reintroduction of lockdowns, oil demand could fall from an expected 99.1 million barrels per day to 97.8 million in December 2021 alone, a drop of 1.3 million barrels per day. In other news, the Ministry of Public Works will be spending some $136 million for 800 kilometers of road currently being constructed within the Lima Sands community on the Essequibo coast. An 800-meter stretch is only half a mile, and it means that each meter will cost approximately $170,000. The cost was given by the region's vice chairman, Mr. Humes Odid. Works on the half-mile stretch reportedly commenced last month and is said to be only the first phase of a new road in Lima Sands. The contract was awarded to S. Jagmohan and Supplies. According to Udit, the specifications of the project will see the construction of a 20 feet wide, 800 meter of asphalt road. And moving on. The government is clearly overwhelmed by the number of oil-related activities it is engaged in, and according to Darshan and Kushial of the Guyana Oil and Gas Governance Network, If you find yourself in a hole, the first thing to do is stop digging. He made this suggestion in reference to the rush to approve the ExxonMobil-led fourth oil field development in the Stabroek Block, Yellowtail. According to Kusial, the oil companies will exploit this disorganized approach by the government for the benefit of their shareholders. OGGN observed that the government released an article stating that the Stabroek oil block is not up for renegotiation and cited a number of reasons for this position, including a sanctity of contract, the stability clause, and because Exxon lost $22 billion last year. And to wrap things up this evening, let's tell you that ExxonMobil was proud to announce to the international market that it is taking action to reduce its emissions output. To achieve this, through 2027, the company said it has committed $15 billion in investments that will ensure a balance between projects to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from existing operations and increased investments in its low-carbon solutions business. But even as Exxon says it has set aside a sizable sum to lower emissions output, it has neglected to highlight that it is pumping over $45 billion into massive fossil fuel projects during the same period. These projects are part of the oil-rich Stabroek Block, being led by its affiliate, Esso. They include the Liza Phase 1 project, the Liza Phase 2, Payara, Yellowtail, and 2 more projects similar to the size of Payara. And with that, we've come to the end of this evening's newscast. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6